This video is proudly sponsored by DigimonCard.io for all your Digimon card, deck building, deck list, card pricing, and discussion needs. Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we're doing a top 16 breakdown for PPG's Digimon Collecticon regionals that happened this past weekend. A couple things. One, I'm still on the road. I was at this event, but just on the Dragon Ball Super side of the room, so sorry if the audio quality is not as good as always. And then also just shoutouts to PPG for running this event and also giving me these lists to give to you guys. I really appreciate it. And if you guys appreciate this breakdown and all the deck lists and everything, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me, and it does take a bit of work to collect all this and put it all together, so I would appreciate it. But going on into this breakdown, this is a really weird tournament based on the breakdown. We have 8 security controls in this top 16, and that's like half of the tops for the security control deck in like this entire format. So it's really interesting to just see Kansas City was just super into doing the security control, and it's just absurd. Like, it's just out of nowhere, half of this top 16. So this was 128 players with a top 8 cut on for day 2, and so we do have 8 security controls, 3 D-Brigade, 3 MetalGaruru X, a single Alphamon, which did end up taking the entire tournament, and Imperialdramon as well. So also, I do just want to shout out the Midwest crew. Obviously, this is something that I was a part of when I lived in Kansas, and it's just really cool to see all these people and everything. So I do just want to go down and say congratulations to specifically Paul Boyd, Isaiah Roberson, Michael Fladung, who's also a primitive, if you guys don't know, and please check out his channel. It's going to be linked in the description and as well as this document. He's got a profile for their deck as well, as I believe they captured some VODs for this event, so if you guys want to see some matches, they should be going up there. Jacob Kipp, Brandon Nieves, Cameron Osceola, Octavio Bedolla, Dominic Hernandez, Levi McCracken, Andrew Gonzalez, Nicholas Devine, Matt Boltler, Anna Devine, Hunter Schlosky, Francisco Corrales, and Dwayne Gray. Congrats to all these players and everything else, especially congrats to getting their final invite for LA this February. But we're just going to go into these deck profiles. We're going to go through the top deck into each one. We are going to just go over a couple security controls, just because one, it's so rare to see, or weird to see just so many tops, and there are a couple different takes for it, so we're going to kind of go over a couple of them. But we're just going to start off with the first place Alphamon list. Starting off, we do have Paul's first place Alphamon, and I will say, like, the list itself is not anything different than we've really seen before, but I will say it is impressive to see it just win this event, especially in a room full of security control decks, which I think is just really impressive. Though I will say Alphamon does have a lot of ways for protection on your big swings and everything that does, I think, make the difference for it, including just the fact that we still have Greymon still at 4, at least for the North American meta, being able to protect you from getting deleted by effects or reducing DPs, which is like 2 things. And you can use the Kongu effect. So until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent's Digimon with play cost 7 or less can attack players, and cards can't be added to security stacks by your opponent's effect. So this does mean Chaos Degrade was not able to, put this into security, so that's protection there. Breath of the Gods also for protection as well, so just makes it like a little bit stronger for these. Obviously, it's just a big 16k swing with or Yukin and everything else, so it's just still strong. I will say it is very funny that only one topped, and it was the first place list, so that I think that is really amusing there. And then this doesn't really Greatamon's like a cool little ad, but doesn't really, I think, help for specifically securing control, just another level 5. And I don't know, yeah, Alphamon's strong. I think that's not very surprising for a lot of it. And yeah, we'll Greymon to 1, I think, would make this matchup for security controls a lot more difficult. Not only does it mean like you don't get as many attacks or damage in because you don't get that security attack +1 as much, but it's just a little bit harder to find like the perfect line to prevent it from getting deleted and like really stack security. So anyways, congrats to Paul. Still, I think a really good accomplishment going to first place with this event with Alphamon, and just congratulations. Next up, we do have second place. This is Isaiah Roberson's security control. We're going to go over a couple of them, but this is the second place list, and a lot of them one thing first is that it's really interesting to see just everyone's build, since that security control is a unofficial archetype, that this is kind of a people build their own. A lot of these decks are really, really dependent on your own personal ratios, and I think that's really cool to see that. I do recommend, if you do like security control, go through all the list personally and see the individual changes that people made. And again, just being able to personalize a list like this, I think is cool. Using just a couple of interesting choices here with a single Bushiagamon with Salmon, which is kind of fun. The Secuamon, which I think most security controls are running today, it's just really great for anything that likes to just sit in the raising area, make their perfect stack, and just go in. And you will probably, we don't see any of this grandest in this top 16, which was really weird because in the Carter match earlier this month, that was like the topping list, like that was the most popular one, and it's just not in this top 16 at all. And I'm not really surprised because you have to get through, you have to just really luck out on that security if you want to have really any chance, and it's just very strong. Securiamon is just such a good thing. So it just means that they have to build their stack outside of raising, and then if they do that, then you can just pop it with something like like Chaos Degradation, Wyvern's Breath, like just a bunch of ways to get rid of your opponent's cards. So I think that's strong. The single Seraphimon I think is cute too. So if you have Tamer play Recovery 1, and then on deletion Recovery 1 as well, so you do get to get just another level 6 to go into, and you get some power there. We do have Junomon with Avenge Kidmon. I think most people were playing Avenge Kidmon for these, and then also the Death Xmon, as usual, just causing a lot of problems for everyone. So, and just congrats to Isaiah on their finish there. Vixiamon also is the Digimon. I really like this here. And also, we're going to go next over to Michael's list here, and there's just a couple of cute little like one-ofs or like just changes to it, specifically adding a couple cards into the black package. So first we have Metal Impulse. So if you don't know what this card does, it is purple and black. So you do have the Daigo here for that, but also if you just have Death Xmon, you can help this out. Trash up to 3 cards from your hand for each card trashed by this effect. Digivolve one on one of your opponent's Digimon, and then delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Being able to, like, Digivolves gets around a lot of protection effects, and your opponent just really can't do anything for it. So I think this is a cool card, cool tech card. I also like this Daigo as well. So card effect, all turns when an opponent's Digimon becomes unsuspended during a main phase, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. And also your turn when one of your Digimon evolves into a black Digimon, a level 6 play, it gains blockers, which, no, it's just, yeah, into a black level 6. So it doesn't do anything, but just being able to, like, have this out, and if your opponent has something that swings more than once, which is pretty common, like MetalGaruru on X does it, Grandis does it, Alphamon does it. Like, those are like 3 really good decks right now, and this is just says, I hope you have at least 1 more memory than you're expecting, because then I just get to gain the memory, and then it becomes my turn if you're not careful. So I do like the ad for that there. And yeah, and just the single Iron Fist Onslaught, because you do have some of these black cards. But really interesting tech. I really like it, and I'm happy it did well for Michael. He did also make a deck profile on his channel, so again, make sure to check out the Primitive TCG channel, linked in the description below. And last one we're going to talk about, so there's kind of like 2 main ways for security control. So the 2 we saw previously is just kind of I'd say like generic, just yellow, make up your levels, your lines, and kind of go from here. But we do also have these ones where it's more of just strictly this purple-yellow package, and then uses the Aandroidd X antibody to get some recovery and go up your line too, which is kind of cool. This one specifically is more, it's not even like as much as security control as just Aandroidd X, and so I probably could rename it, but we're just going to call it security control for it, and it's just really interesting. So being able to do like these Salamons here, and we do have like the Salamon X, it just gets to recover 1. So the purple one as well, just look top 4 to add a 2-colored purple card among them. Place remaining at the bottom of your deck in any order. So this does let you find just like your level 4s, or like it finds Death Xmon, it finds the Flame Hell Scythe, Chaos Degradation, Gautomon. Any of that stuff is really nice. Also Black Gautomon. And then just kind of going up your chains. And you are running Ophanimon fall down mode as well, which then you can get this Gautomon back from your trash pile, get the recovery, and then if you still have a purple out, you get to do that. This lets you get some extra power by giving security attack +1 if you have something purple in play, or a Digimon that's purple in play. The Maiko as well, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 purple, you have the Digimon from them to your hand, then trash the rest, and also all turns when you play a purple 2-color and yellow Digimon, you can spend this tamer to gain 1 memory, which just means like you can play block Gatomon for 4, and it has Rush in case that makes a difference, or even just the regular Gatomon. So I really like this list. I think this is more of like an Aandroidd X antibody than security control, but that's just kind of like the way, like the 2 different ways to get this. I think I don't know. There's a lot of overlap. If you guys want to call this Aandroidd X antibody, I don't think that is the wrong play to go. So next up, we do have the D-Brigade. We did see a couple top today. This is Cameron Osceola's version of it. And part of the reason I think D-Brigade is super strong right now, too, is that it's kind of like a rookie rush that can smokescreen into a security control list. There's just so many good security cards that can end up in there that just gives your opponent a lot of impactful things. So like Chinkuriamon in there is really good. Ultimate Flare, Iron Fist and Onslaught, Pride Memory Boost, Kongu, and just Tamers in general. It just means like your opponent starts hitting your security, you're usually getting a lot of advantage. And there's Death Xmon can just casually hang in this deck. Either can like do some cheese where you go into Dark Dramon and then Digivolve into Death Xmon. You can just hard cast this and then you're not really afraid. So if your opponent's kind of going wide with blockers to try to ruin your day, just hard casting this Death Xmon can make a big difference for it. So I really like D-Brigade in this format. I think it's strong, and I just appreciate it doing well after like not doing well for so long in its existence. It's doing really well. So congrats to Cameron for their finish. Next up, we do have Ocavio's MetalGaruru X, and this is like I'm really surprised. What just so many security controls. Like I normally am not the guy to say, let's play a delicate plan, let's sneak it into a deck like this because it makes it a little bit inconsistent. But if there's so many security control lists, yeah, having hero and a delicate plan in the list is super strong. And if you're able to find it, you're able to kind of win the game from there. Especially since you're able to just make a where Garurumon just do so much damage, it just goes off. So I don't think again, where Digimon is a game where there's no adjustment to game plan after you submit your list. There's no sideboard or anything like that. I think Delicate Plan would be immediately in a sideboard for anything like this, or Grandis in case you just look around the room and you just see as much security control as we see. But being able to have the insight to say, you know what, I want to have this. I'm sure that this just won a game or two against security control, just because that's gets around a lot of that. So there's also the emergency shutdown program, which you have to have Cool Boy out, which isn't too much. Let's see, your opponent can't use option cards until the end of the turn, so that can do something. It does not get around security effects as far as I know. I haven't seen this card in a minute, so I'm 99% sure if you hit something security options effects still proc. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, and I would appreciate that. But yeah, just MetalGaruru still I think is really strong if you're able to set up. But yeah, it's still impressive with all the security controls. It was able to get to the top 8 there. So congrats to Ocavio. And lastly, we do have Brandon's top. Let's see, was it top 8? What did you get? Top 8. Yeah, okay. Imperialdramon, and this is just a good deck. Still, you do have to. You do have to get a little bit lucky, especially again because this has no protection on any security control besides just having jamming on the XVmon. So I think this is. I really do like Imperialdramon. It is still fun, and like again, sometimes just swinging with XVmon and then going into Pyodramon and getting 2 swings jamming, and going into Dragon mode or something. Sometimes it still gets the job done, but again, it's very impressive with a deck. Just in a meta. And by meta, I mean tournament environment with so much control decks that this is able to squeak in. I do think that's really cool. So congrats again to Brandon on their finish there. And that is going to be it for this breakdown. So again, thank you so much to PPG for running this event. I'm really happy that I was at this, even though again I was on the Dragon Ball Super side. It's great to see the Kansas City scene and just how many people are into this game, and just is really cool, really uplifting. So that's going to be it for me. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll catch you all next time.